It's hard to believe that it's been 10 years, a decade, since that fateful day when Aaliyah passed in a tragic plane crash. I can still remember exactly what I was doing when I heard the news, and it's a unique situation because I think most people can. I think it puts people, at least myself, in an interesting position when you have a strong emotional response to the death of someone that you never actually met personally, but you still have an intimate connection to them through their music. At first, I wasn't going to do a vlog about this subject because I felt it would be, a bit cliche. I know all of the radio stations are going to be spinning her tracks non-stop tomorrow, and Twitter and Facebook are going to be flooded with RIP tweets and updates, but after giving it a little consideration, I figured the best way to commemorate the anniversary was to talk about the things that made her truly unique, and to talk about the lessons that she could teach the R&B genre as a whole. So, where to begin? Well, in some conversations I've had with close friends of mine, some of them have a hard time understanding exactly what it was that made Aaliyah so special. The default argument is always that vocally she wasn't necessarily the strongest singer. My rebuttal is that Aaliyah was an artist that you can't really look at in a vacuum. The synergy of all of the different pieces, from the singing to the dancing to the acting to the elusive persona, all of it together is what made her transcendent. It sounds a little corny when I say it, but I can only describe it as the it factor that so many of these prepackaged artists today are missing. But obviously, you can't talk about Aaliyah's legacy without talking about the actual music. Not too long before I recorded this video, I was listening to some of her early albums, namely One in a Million, and the sound and the content is just as relevant today as it was then. I think the sign of a truly great work is one that can stand the test of time and appeal to more than just one isolated demographic. For example, while I like some of Beyonce's work, most of the time, I end up feeling like shit for just being a man by the time the song ends. Call it a hunch, but I don't really see Freakum Dress being regarded as a classic in 10 years. Aaliyah was able to make that type of music that you and your girl could vibe to together. After that, I always bring up Sensuality. You remember when your mother told you to leave something to the imagination? Well, Aaliyah epitomized that. None of the choreography in her videos could be considered raunchy, and you never saw her in a spandex catsuit on the red carpet, yet every male I knew, old or young, thought she was beyond beautiful. So while I enjoy Sierra doing this, or Kerry doing this, as much as the next man, I think it represents a desperate attention grab through overt sexuality. Aaliyah was able to captivate the hearts of millions without having to rely on the smallest skirt or the most revealing shirt to get her over that proverbial hump. So, even though Aaliyah's gone, I think the social networks and the video channels will serve as evidence that she definitely isn't forgotten. While the music industry has changed significantly over the course of the last decade, I think the lessons that she taught us about the right way to do this R&B thing are very valid today. I hope that some of our current artists will take heed. Rest in peace.